Hey guys, and welcome to 11.8 area and volume of similar solids. So if you remember way back in the day, we talked about similar figures. Similar figures are things that have this is a cube with a side length of 2. Similar figures could be, times 2, 4, times 3, 6, right? You can multiply or divide by them. They all have a scale factor, which is the same as a similarity ratio, and we do new over old in order to get those. Review. So the first part of this is finding the surface area and volume of a bunch of different shapes. Giving you some time to do that. Surface area is 2 times the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height. So 2 times, 15? Plus the perimeter is going to be 16 times 4. So the surface area of this thing is going to be... Whoa, I was in some things in my calculator. Plus 16 times 4. 94 square centimeters. And let's see, the volume is just going to be 5 times 3 times 4. 60 cubic centimeters. So this one is a similar figure to this. So it's going up, so it's going to be 2 times b plus p times h. So what's 15 times 9? 135. 2 times 135 plus the perimeter is 48. The height is 12. So 2 times 135 plus 12 times 48 is 846. What are we talking? Centimeters squared. And the volume, it's going to be 15 times 9 times 12. 1620 centimeters cubed. All right, so when we look at these, we can make ratios of all of these things. All right, so the similarity ratio, or the scale factor for this, how do you go from 12 to 4, or from 4 to 12, from 9 to 3, from 15 to 5, new over old is going to be, 12 over 4, or 9 over 3, or 15 over 5, which is all 3, or 3 over 1. All right, that is my similarity ratio. So we have also a surface area ratio, which is going to be 846 over 94. I'm going to use the fraction button in my calculator, 846 over 94 to reduce that for me. Well, that's just 9 over 1, or 9, right? And then we can have a volume ratio, 1620 over 60. Again, I'm going to use the fraction button in my calculator to reduce that. It's just 27, or 27 over 1. So there is going to be a pattern that I hope we realize between these numbers. Let's figure out what that could be. Let's do a practice with a triangle. I still think triangles are the hardest, and so we need more practice with them. So let's see, the surface area. So y'all, the base is a triangle. It's 2 times the base plus the perimeter of that triangle times the height. The height is going to be the distance between the two bases. So that height looks like it's 18. Okay, done with that. Then I have 2 times the area of the base. So 12 times 16 divided by 2 is 96. Plus the perimeter is 12 plus 16 plus 20, 48. So 2 times 96 plus 48 times 18 is 1056 feet squared. All right, the volume is the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base, again, 12 times 16 divided by 2 times my height, which was 18. So 12 times 16 divided by 2, we just did it, was 96. The height was 18. So the volume is 1728 feet cubed. All right, now we have got a different set. Looks like this is going to be 8 over 16, 9 over 18, right? So I just went ahead and did my similarity ratio. 8 over 16, right, is a half. So surface area ratio, we got to find some surface areas. Yet again, that's 8. The height is going to be 9. So we've got 6 times 8 divided by 2. 6 times 8 divided by 2 is 24. The perimeter is 6 plus 8 plus 10. 24, and the height is 9. So 2 times 24 plus 24 times 9. 264 square feet. And then my volume is area of the base times the height. So the area of the base was 24, the height was 9, 216 cubic feet. All right, so let's see what these relationships end up being, what these ratios end up being. If we've got similarity ratio is 1/2, SA ratio 246 or 264 over 1056. So let's see. Again, I'm using the fraction button to reduce this for me. That's a 1/4. And then the volume ratio, 216 over 1728. Is 1/8. I wonder if we see a relationship here. So if I go from 3 to 9, how do I go from 3 to 9? How do I go from 3 to 27? How do I go from 2 to 4? How do I go from 1 to 8, or from 2 to 8? There's a hint here. Feet cubed, feet cubed, feet squared, and then a similarity ratio is just your links, right? Like feet, feet. So what you're doing is you are either squaring it, so this is to the second power, and then that's to the third power. This is to the second power, this is to the third power. Makes sense. Units, units squared, units cubed. Solids with the same shape and all their corresponding dimensions are proportional. That makes sense. We know what a similar solid is. The similarity ratio, y'all, that's just the scale factor. It's equal to new over old. Then the ratio of their surface areas is, okay, so if it's A over B, then it's A squared over B squared. And then A to the third over B to the third. So we can figure this out. It gives me surface areas of these two similar solids. Given the figures are similar, they're telling me they're similar, all right? So let's see, the surface area ratio is this over this. Let's see if that reduces any using the 246 over 144 is 9 over 4. So my similarity ratio is 9 over 4. I have to always go back to my OG. I need to go back to one length, to one dimension before I can move on to volume. So how do you undo squared? Square root. That similarity ratio is going to be 3 over 2. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 4 is 2. I'm going to make sure I'm still recording before I keep going. Yep, great. Okay, now I can go to my volume ratio. So that volume ratio is going to be 3 to the third and 2 to the third. So 3 raised to the third is 27. 2 raised to the third is 8. So now I have all my ratios. My original, my squared, and my cubed. Let's see, on this one, they give us our volume ratio. So 1331 over 1331, fraction button, 729. Oh, that's just what it is. Grand. Okay, I need to go all the way back to my regular similarity ratio, okay? So we're going to take the cube root of each one of these. So I need the cube root of 1331, and I need the cube root of 729. Don't know why that's struggling today. 3 second, carry it up, 1331 is 11 over the cube root of 2, over 9. All right, so now to get the similarity ratio, I can do 11 squared over 9 squared. So 121 over 81. And we're Gucci. Let's see. Given the surface area of the two similar figures, solve for the unknown value. I think, yeah, your homework is that. Great. Solve for the unknown value. Okay, what do they give us? They give us two surface areas. So I can come up with a surface area ratio. So 1088 over 425 ends up being 64 over 25. Now to get the similarity ratio, I square root those. So that's just 8 over 5. To get the volume ratio, I cube it. So 8 to the third is 512. 5 to the third is 125. Right? So this one, I had to square root to go that way. And then I took this one and I raised it to the third power to go that way. Those signs almost make it more confusing. Okay, now figure out the volume of the original. So we are going to keep us doing our new over old, right? Okay, so new over old. So that would be 13312 over x equals, this is volume, so I can use my volume ratio. 512 over 125. Cross multiply. $3,250 kilometers cubed. Times, divide by the one left over. All right, so given what they gave me, what can I figure out? It looks like I can figure out my surface area again. So I can use my surface area again. So let's see what that ends up being. 846 over 94. 846 over 94 is just 9. Great. So 9 over 1, which means that my similarity ratio is 3 over 1. And my volume ratio is 3 to the third, 27 over 1. So I'm going to again do new over old. So new over old equals x over 180. And that is equal to my volume ratio. We're solving for volume. 27 over 1. Cross multiply, divide by 1. 180 times 27 divided by 1. The new volume is 4860 meters cubed. Make that actually look like a 4. All right, I'm giving you 2 more and then your homework. So let's see. It gives me the volume ratio. So I've got my volumes here. I know that that doesn't reduce because I can see it. So 125 over 27. So I need to take the cube root of those. I know some of these in my head. You can use a calculator, not a big deal. So that means the similarity ratio is going to be 25 over 9. And I'm going to set up a cross multiplication again to figure out this guy. So this is new, right? So we're going to go x over the old equals, this time we got to use our surface area because we're looking for surface area. 25 over 9. So 63 times 25 divided by 9, 175 inches cubed. It's bigger. That's logical. Great. Oh, that's a blank. I couldn't see it because there was like a line there. I got confused. So we're looking for the other surface area. And what do they give me? They give me volume. I am going to see if that reduces. 10,368, fraction bar, 384. Oh, yeah, great. Okay, so the volume ratio is 27 over 1. So the similarity ratio is going to be 3 over 1, and the surface area ratio is going to be 9 over 1. So let's see, new over old, so new, 28512 over old equals my similarity ratio, or my surface area ratio, 9 over 1. So 28512 times 1 divided by 9. My new surface area is 3,168 inches squared because of surface area. Great. Try your homework. See how it goes.